Hello, my dear students. In this lecture, we are going to see few questions which were asked in GATE examination, and these questions are straightforward objective questions. That is theoretical questions on convection topic. Let us see the questions. Very first question we are going to see. This question was asked in GATE 2016 for 1 mark in set 3. Now, question is the ratio of number signifies the ratio of. Now, my dear students, here they are asking about ratio of number. Now, this ratio of number is represented by GR. And my dear students, we know that ratio of number, the definition of, remember the definition of ratio of number. Ratio of number is a here product of buoyancy force, the buoyancy force into inertia force divided by viscous force square divided by viscous force square. Right. This is the definition of ratio of number. It is buoyancy force into inertia force divided by viscous force square. Now, in numerator, it is Newton square. In denominator, Newton square. Therefore, it is dimensionless. It is having no unit. Right. Now, therefore, here there is a buoyancy force, there is a inertia force, there is a viscous force also. Now, this ratio of number is used only in free convection. In free convection to distinguish the type of bond layer formation. Right. Now, here ratio of number is not used in forced convection. It is only used in free convection. Now, my dear students, Reynolds number is used in forced convection. Here we can say the Reynolds number Re is used in forced convection, and Reynolds number is nothing but inertia force divided by viscous force. Reynolds number is inertia force divided by viscous force. Viscous force. And my dear students, this Reynolds number is used only in forced convection. Only in force convection, right? And this ratio of number is only used in free convection. Therefore, can I say from here this inertia force and viscous force, can be used in force convection as well as in free convection. Therefore, from this relation, we can say this buoyancy force is only for free convection, right? Now, in case of forced convection, there is no buoyancy force. Buoyancy force is only for free convection, right? Therefore, my dear students, for ratio of number, this buoyancy force is must condition. Remember one thing: this buoyancy force is must condition for ratio of number or ratio of force or ratio of number. Sorry, right? Now, let us understand here: inertia force, viscous force. Yes, there is a inertia force, viscous force, but in Reynolds number also there is a inertia force, viscous force. Therefore, we cannot go for option A because inertia and viscous forces are used in both free as well as forced convection. Second option, buoyancy force and viscous force. Yes, 100% correct. Because buoyancy force is only for free and Grashof is also only for free. Right. Therefore, option B is correct. Again, buoyancy force and inertia force. Now, my dear students, generally here the ratio, here it is written ratio. Right. Now, here option C is buoyancy force and inertia force. But buoyancy force and inertia force are in multiplication. They are not in ratio. Right. So we cannot go for C also. Right. And inertia force and surface tension. This is wrong. Right. Therefore, my dear students, for this question, option B is the correct choice. Now, the next question, theoretical question is, which was asked in GATE 2015 for 1 mark in set 2. Now, this question is asked based on hydrodynamic bond layer thickness and thermal bond layer thickness. My dear students, this is a very hot topic. This is frequently asked for the GATE examination as well as for each and every competitive examination. Now, let us understand here. In a laminar flow of air, now air is given, and here Prandtl number, PR is Prandtl number of air is 0.7, right? Over a heated plate, if delta and delta T denotes respectively the hydrodynamic and thermal bond layer thickness, then now, my dear students, we have the ratio of delta and delta T, that is ratio of hydrodynamic bond layer thickness to the thermal bond layer thickness is related with the help of Prandtl number, and it is equal to Prandtl number power 1/3. Now, this concept we have seen in theory lectures, right? Therefore, my dear students, here if Prandtl number is less than 1, right, the power of less than 1 is always less than 1. Therefore, we can say Prandtl number raised to 1/3 is always less than 1, right? Therefore, here Prandtl number is given 0.7 here in this question. Therefore, this delta divided by delta T will be less than 1. Therefore, this hydrodynamic bond layer thickness delta will be less than delta T. Right. Therefore, my dear students, for this question, option C is a correct choice. Now, my dear students, again they can ask you question like this. If Prandtl number is more than 1, then Prandtl number is to 1 by 3. That is more than 1 power anything is always more than 1. Right. Therefore, here this delta divided by delta T becomes more than 1. Therefore, this delta will become more than delta T. Again, many times in the GATE examination, they have given Prandtl number is equal to 1. If Prandtl number is equal to 1, then Prandtl number is 2. Power 1 by 3 is always equal to 1. 1 to the power anything is 1. Therefore, this delta divided by delta T is equal to 1. Therefore, delta is equal to delta T. Right. And on each and every concept, they have asked question. In this question, they have given Prandtl number less than 1. Therefore, delta is less than delta T. But many times they have given Prandtl number more than 1. Then delta is more than delta T. Many times they have given Prandtl number is equal to 1, then delta is equal to delta T. Now the next question which was asked in GATE 2015 for 1 mark in state 3 is the ratio of momentum diffusivity nu to the thermal diffusivity alpha is called. Now my dear students, this momentum diffusivity is nothing but it is also called, it is a kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity. Momentum diffusivity is another name of kinematic viscosity, right? And here thermal diffusivity. Now my dear students, the ratio of them is nothing but Prandtl number. The Prandtl number is nothing but kinematic viscosity. It is the ratio of kinematic viscosity, right? Kinematic viscosity to the thermal diffusivity. This is called Prandtl number, right? Therefore, which is nothing but nu divided by alpha. Therefore, my dear students, here the ratio of momentum diffusivity to the thermal diffusivity is Prandtl number. We have seen Prandtl number is nothing but mu Cp divided by K, right? Now again, the same Prandtl number can be written as mu Cp divided by K into rho divided by rho, right? Therefore, my dear students, again the same Prandtl number can be written as here this here what I am considering this mu and denominator rho, here mu divided by rho divided by, now this rho Cp I am taking to the denominator, therefore it will become K divided by rho Cp, right? And my dear students, here mu divided by rho, that is dynamic viscosity divided by mass density, is nothing but kinematic viscosity, right? And here thermal conductivity divided by heat capacity, K divided by rho Cp, is nothing but thermal diffusivity alpha. Therefore, the ratio of momentum diffusivity and thermal diffusivity is Prandtl number. That is option A is the correct choice. Now the next theoretical question which was asked in GATE 1998 for 1 mark. Let us understand the question. The heat transfer coefficient for a free convection in gases, forced convection in gases and vapor, and for boiling water lies respectively in the range. Now my dear students, here directly you have to remember the values. Already in my notes I have given all these values. You have to directly remember the values. Now the here for free convection in gases, the H is nothing but, that is heat transfer coefficient is H is nothing but 5 to 15 watt per meter square Kelvin. Then for forced convection for gases and vapor, this EH is nothing but 20 to 200 watt per meter square Kelvin. And for boiling, it is very high, that is 3000 to 50,000, right? Therefore, here option A will be the correct choice, right? These values generally students remember. You have to remember these values. Next question which was asked in GATE 1996 for 2 marks. It is a match the pair. Now here match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using the code given below the list. Now list 1 is Grashof number, Summit number, Weber number and Fourier number. All are dimensionless numbers. And list 2 is mass diffusion, transient heat conduction, free convection, forced convection, surface tension and radiation. Now my dear students, here very first number, that is Grashof number. Grashof number is nothing but buoyancy force into inertia force divided by viscous force square. And my dear students, here this buoyancy force is used only in free convection. This buoyancy force is only used in free convection. Therefore, this Grashof number is also only used in free convection to distinguish the type of bond layer formation. Whatever means the type of bond layer formation, to distinguish this free convection, to distinguish the type of bond layer formation, we are using this Grashof number. Therefore, this Grashof number is only going to the free convection. Therefore, here we can say with A there is 3, right? Then Summit number. Now, my dear student, this Summit number is nothing but it is a momentum diffusivity divided by mass diffusivity, right? If there is a mass diffusion, then Summit number is used, right? It is nothing but momentum diffusivity divided by mass diffusivity. Means there is a mass diffusion, right? Therefore, my dear students, this Summit number is used whenever there is a mass diffusion. Therefore, with this B, option 1 will go, right? With B 1, right? Then the third number is Weber number. Now, my dear students, Weber number is nothing but root of inertia force divided by surface tension force, right? It is a inertia force divided by surface tension force in under root. Therefore, if there is a surface tension, whenever there is a surface tension, there is a Weber number. Therefore, this Weber number will go with the surface tension. That is option 5, right? With C, option 5. And my dear students, Fourier number, this is very simple. We have seen in transient heat conduction. In case of transient heat conduction, we have used Fourier number and Biot number. Right? Biot number and Fourier number are used in transient heat conduction. And this Fourier number is nothing but diffusive transport rate divided by storage rate. This is called Fourier number, right? And my dear students, along with this Fourier number, Biot number BI is also used in transient heat conduction. That is lumped heat capacity analysis, right? Therefore, here with Fourier number, option 2 will go, right? Therefore, look at the options. That is 3152. 3152. Option B will be the correct choice for this question. The next question, which was asked in GATE 2015 for 1 mark in set 1 is the Blasius equation related to boundary layer theory is. Now, first of all, let us understand this Blasius equation. Right? This Blasius equation is nothing but 2d3F divided by d neta cube plus Ef d2F divided by d neta square is equal to 0. Right? This is called Blasius equation. Therefore, can I say it is a third order? Here you can see it is a third order equation, right? Now, my dear students, here this F is a function of neta, where this F is nothing but dimensionless stream function. F is dimensionless. It is a dimensionless stream function. It is called dimensionless stream function that you have learned in fluid mechanics. And this neta, right? This neta is nothing but it is called dimensionless similarity variable. It is a dimensionless similarity variable, right? Therefore, this Blasius equation gives relation between stream function and similarity variable, right? And this is a third order differential equation, right? So, my dear students, here, but again, it is a third order non-linear ordinary differential equation. It is non-linear. Remember, it is non-linear because here third order linear is written, third order non-linear partial. It is not partial. It is not dou. It is not written in the form of dou. Partial means dou 2 F divided by dou neta square like this, right? It is not written in partial form. Third order linear, it is not linear, it is non-linear. It is not linear, it is not partial, it is third order non-linear ordinary differential equation. Therefore, my dear students, for this question, option D is the correct choice. Now, my dear students, if you have heard about this Blasius equation, then it is okay. But if you have not heard about this equation, then it is absolutely fine, because some faculty teach this concept in fluid mechanics, some will teach you in convection in heat transfer. So don't worry about that. Now in this question only remember this equation. Now the next question, which was asked in GATE 2015 for 1 mark in set 1 is, for a flow of viscous fluid over a flat plate, if the fluid temperature is same as that of the plate temperature, thermal boundary layer is, then the thermal boundary layer is. Now my dear students, here there is one plate. Over this plate the fluid is flowing, right? The fluid is flowing, and my dear students, the plate temperature, let us say T wall, and the fluid temperature is T infinity. They have given the wall temperature is equal to fluid temperature. Here temperature is same. Now then the thermal boundary layer. Now my dear students, as this fluid is flowing, there will be only hydrodynamic boundary layer. Hydrodynamic boundary layer, that is also called velocity boundary layer. Velocity boundary layer. But because of equilibrium of these fluids, there will be no heat exchange. Now, my dear students, to transfer heat, we need temperature difference. Temperature difference is compulsory for heat transfer. But here there is no temperature difference, therefore there will be no heat transfer and there will be no formation of boundary layer. I am saying that there is no formation of thermal boundary layer, but yes, there will be a hydrodynamic, that is velocity boundary layer, but there will be no thermal boundary layer. And they are mentioning here in question, they are mentioning about thermal boundary layer. Now this thermal boundary layer not formed at all. Option D is the correct choice. Now the next question, which was asked in GATE 2003 for 2 marks, this question is based on thermal boundary layer thickness and hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness. Let us understand the question. The question is, consider a laminar boundary layer over a heated flat plate. The free stream velocity is u infinity. At some distance x from the leading edge, the velocity boundary layer thickness is del v. Now here, this del v is velocity boundary layer thickness. Velocity boundary layer thickness, right? Then, and thermal boundary layer thickness is del t. Here del t is thermal boundary layer thickness. Thermal boundary layer thickness, right? Then if Prandtl number is greater than 1, then now they have given Prandtl number is more than 1. Now my dear students, this velocity boundary layer thickness and thermal boundary layer thickness are related with the help of Prandtl number. That is velocity boundary layer thickness divided by thermal boundary layer thickness is equal to Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3. That we have seen in convection topic, right? Therefore my dear students, if Prandtl number is more than 1, therefore for a value having more than 1, for this value power 1 by 3 will be always more than 1. Therefore my dear students, here we can say hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness divided by thermal boundary layer thickness will be more than 1. Therefore this hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness will be more than thermal boundary layer thickness. So look at the option, you will find that option A will be the correct choice. Next question, which was asked in GATE 2001 for 2 marks, is water. Prandtl number is 6. Now here Prandtl number is equal to 6. Prandtl number is equal to 6, and this Prandtl number is more than 1, right? Then flows over a flat plate which is heated over an entire length. Which one of the following relationship between the hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness delta and thermal boundary layer thickness del T is true? Now my dear students, just now we have seen this hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness divided by thermal boundary layer thickness is equal to Prandtl number is to 1 by 3, and Prandtl number is more than 1. Therefore this del divided by del T will be equal to 6 power 1 by 3, which will be more than 1. Therefore this hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness will be more than thermal boundary layer thickness del T, right? Therefore here option we can say this hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness will be more than thermal boundary layer thickness, that is thermal boundary layer thickness will be less than hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness. Therefore option B will be the correct choice. Now the next question, which was asked in GATE 1994 for 1 mark, is for a year near atmospheric condition flowing over a flat plate, the laminar thermal boundary layer is thicker than hydrodynamic boundary layer. True or false? Now my dear students, what is given here? Air near atmospheric condition. Now whenever air near atmospheric condition is taken, then for air at atmospheric condition, Prandtl number is equal to 1. For air at atmospheric condition, Prandtl number is equal to 1. And this hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness divided by thermal boundary layer thickness is related with this Prandtl number by Prandtl number power 1 by 3. Therefore it is equal to 1 power 1 by 3 is equal to 1. Therefore generally hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness is equal to thermal boundary layer thickness if air is taken near atmospheric condition, that is Prandtl number is equal to 1. Therefore here they are mentioning that laminar thermal boundary layer is thicker than hydrodynamic boundary layer. They are mentioning thermal boundary layer is thicker than hydrodynamic boundary layer, which is wrong. Therefore this statement is false. Again in GATE 1998 for 1 mark, the exactly similar pattern of question they have asked. That is for a fluid flowing over a flat plate with Prandtl number more than 1, the thermal boundary layer for the laminar force convection. Now here they are mentioning Prandtl number is more than 1, then the thermal boundary layer del T will be with respect to hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness. Now hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness divided by thermal boundary layer thickness is equal to Prandtl number is to 1 by 3, that we have seen 6 to 7 times in the same lecture only, right? Therefore can I say, as Prandtl number is more than 1, therefore del divided by del T of any value which is more than 1 power 1 by 3 will be more than 1 only. Therefore this del will be more than del T. That means the thermal boundary layer thickness is less than hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness. Therefore here they are mentioning the thermal boundary layer for laminar force convection is less than hydrodynamic bond layer thickness. Less than means thinner than, is thinner than, we can say, is thinner than hydrodynamic bond layer thickness. That is option A will be the correct choice for this question. Now the next question which was asked in GATE 2014 for 1 mark in set 1 is, consider two-dimensional laminar flow over a long cylinder. It is a laminar flow, right? Over a long cylinder as shown in figure below. Right? It is a cylinder. The free stream velocity is u infinity and free stream temperature is T infinity. This free stream temperature T infinity is lower than cylinder surface temperature Ts, right? The local heat transfer coefficient is minimum at point. Now, at which point the local heat transfer coefficient will be minimum? Now, my dear students, this T infinity is less than surface temperature. This T infinity is given than less than surface temperature. Therefore, whenever this surrounding fluid comes into contact with the cylinder, then its temperature will increase. This free stream temperature will increase and it will become lighter, that is density will decrease and it will start moving in upward direction. Now if it is starting moving in upward direction, the flow is like this. The flow is like this. Like this it is moving, right? Now on both sides the flow will be like this. Like this it is moving, right? As T infinity is less than T, the surface temperature, therefore this T infinity, whenever they are kept in contact, this T infinity fluid temperature will increase and surface temperature will decrease. Therefore this fluid will, because of this increase in temperature, what is thermodynamic law? PV is equal to mRT. Therefore P is equal to m by v RT, and m by v is nothing but density. Therefore P divided by RT is nothing but density. Therefore as temperature is increasing, density is decreasing and it is becoming lighter and it is moving in upward direction, right? So my dear students, can you say now the point which is most inside, that is this point, we can say this point on this axis will be having very less contact with the fluid, right? Therefore here let us say this red color point will be having less contact with the fluid. That means with respect to horizontal, if angle becomes 90 degree, there the heat transfer coefficient will be minimum. Now as angle goes on increasing, the heat transfer goes on decreasing. With horizontal, as angle goes on increasing, the heat transfer goes on decreasing and the EH will be minimum. This EH will be minimum at, we can say, these points. Let us say these points are, I will say 5 and 6. EH is minimum at 5 and 6 and next minimum will be, now 3 is little bit away as compared to 2, therefore next minimum will be for 2. Therefore in 1 2 3 4 the minimum is for 2. Therefore here the answer is option B. Theoretical question, one more question is remaining. This is the latest year question, that is it was asked in GATE 2021. Now let us understand the question. Very simple question. In a forced convection heat transfer, Stanton number ST, Nusselt number NU, Reynolds number RE, and Prandtl number PR are related as. Now, my dear students, here the Stanton number ST is nothing but, it is a ratio of Nusselt number and Peclet number, right? Here this PE is nothing but Peclet number. It is called Peclet number. And my dear students, this Peclet number is a product of Reynolds number and Prandtl number. Peclet number is a product of Reynolds number and Prandtl number. Therefore, this Stanton number will be equal to Nusselt number divided by Reynolds number into Prandtl number. Right. This is how Stanton number, Nusselt number, Reynolds number, and Prandtl number are related with each other. Therefore, look at the option. You will find that option C will be the correct choice. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will see one more numerical on this topic, which was asked in previous year GATE examination.